Most actors spend their whole lives dreaming of an Oscar, but when Lupita Nyong'o won hers, she stepped into a reality that almost no one expected. Instead of a flood of powerful, diverse roles, Hollywood kept offering her the same part again and again, and what she did next shocked the entire industry. Lupita's Oscar for 12 Years a Slave wasn't just a trophy. It was the first role of her entire film career, and it instantly placed her under a spotlight that felt almost blinding. People assumed she'd be handed lead roles, big franchises, and characters written for a global star. But the scripts she got told a very different story. Rumors floated around at the time claiming she was being pushed toward more historical trauma roles, and one offer, according to Lupita, asked her to play yet another enslaved woman, only this time on a ship. For someone who had just delivered one of the most painful, unforgettable performances of the decade, this felt like a trap more than an opportunity. She described that period as tender, a moment when outside voices were louder than her own. Think pieces questioned whether she was a one-film wonder. Speculation online suggested her career might stall if she became too selective. Others wondered if Hollywood was simply refusing to see her beyond a stereotype. The pressure was heavy, and the expectations were even heavier. But Lupita refused to shrink herself to fit a narrow mold. Instead, she tuned out the noise. She said she had to deafen herself to people who talked about her like she was a concept rather than a human being. What she wanted, and always fought for, was a deeper, more truthful representation of African women. Not characters built on suffering alone, but characters who were complex, powerful, soft, strategic, and fully human. That conviction came with a price, because she knew saying no meant fewer projects, fewer checks, and fewer chances to stay visible.
But she accepted that risk.
Lupita chose dignity over convenience, even when rumors suggested she was too picky or hard to cast. She wasn't trying to be difficult. She was trying to protect her identity from being boxed in before her career even began. And then, everything shifted. Her next films proved her instincts right. She jumped into nonstop with Liam Neeson. She entered the massive world of Star Wars, became part of the Jungle Book, and delivered one of her most heartfelt performances in Queen of Katwe. Each project widened her range and showed audiences she was far more than the roles Hollywood kept trying to recycle. But the true turning point came with Black Panther. As Nakia, Lupita brought to life a woman who was brave, intelligent, emotionally layered, and rooted in her own purpose. She and Denai Gurira spoke openly about wanting African women on screen who felt real, not symbols, not stereotypes, but full human beings. They believed strength wasn't about being emotionless or unbreakable. It was about depth, vulnerability, and the ability to rise without losing yourself. In the end, Lupita didn't just rewrite her career. She reshaped the conversation around what African actresses can be in global cinema. She showed that refusing the wrong roles can lead to the right legacy. And she proved that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in Hollywood is simply say no. Because Lupita didn't win an Oscar to be boxed in. She wanted to break the box entirely.